this lesson, I wanted to cover how to move pentatonic scales up and down the neck through different keys. So what I did is I made a backing track that does 2 measures of a G power chord, and then 2 measures of A flat or G sharp, 2 measures of A, 2 measures of B flat or A sharp, then B, then C, C sharp, and then D. So the track literally just goes all the way up to D, 2 measures each, and then goes all the way back down to G, 2 measures each. So what this enables us to do is practice various types of scales over these chords. Because it's a power chord, it's neither major or minor, so we could treat it however we want. So for this one though, I wanted to cover minor pentatonic scales. There's many simple ways of moving the minor pentatonic scale up and down the neck, and because it starts on G, the first scale you could play would just be the root pattern of the G minor pentatonic scale. Now, of course, if you take that same pattern and you just simply move it up to A flat, the whole scale just transposes up. And then this could happen again when you move up to A, B flat, here's B, here's C, here's D flat or C sharp, and the last one is D. So in this case, I'm just simply moving that same scale up and down the neck, which transposes that scale to the correct key for whichever chord you're playing over. The other thing that you could do would be to try to stay closer in the same position while the chords are changing, while you're changing keys. For example, if this was G minor pentatonic, if you wanted to go to A flat or G sharp minor pentatonic, you can of course just move up 1 fret, or you could also play what I call pattern 7, moving down 1 fret. So this would be the A flat or G sharp minor pentatonic scale, but it's just starting from G flat, which is the flat 7th of the key. So now you could go, there's G, and then so I did a little bit of pattern 1 and a little bit of pattern 7. Just basically transposed up a half step, even though I moved my hand down a half step to get pattern 7, starting from G flat. Once it goes to the A, we could also take pattern 7 and simply move that up a fret, which is really right in the same position as the G minor pentatonic scale, starting from the 3rd fret. So that's a really prime choice for that position. When it moves up to the B flat, we can do pattern 7 from the 4th fret. And you could also do pattern 5 of the minor pentatonic scale, starting on F. So that would keep you close to the same position of where we started when it's playing the B flat chord. When it moves up to the B, you could do pattern 5 starting on F sharp. And then when it goes to C, we could just shift that up again and do pattern 5 starting from G, of course, because G is the 5th degree of a C chord. For D flat, what I was doing is shifting to pattern 4 of the minor pentatonic scale, which G flat is the 4th degree of the D minor pentatonic scale. So that is that keeps you right in that position. Now remember, I'm trying to stay close to our starting point, which was G. We of course could move up to pattern 5 starting from the 4th fret. For the the last one, when it gets to D, I'm just going to take pattern 4 and move it starting on G. So that would cover the closest pentatonic patterns that would work based off of the root note that the chord progression moves through. This isn't the only way to do this, of course. You can also just simply move up and down the neck, like I said before, within an individual pattern. So you could, here's G, here's A flat, or if you wanted to start from a different point, you could start G minor pentatonic starting on B flat, and of course just move that up accordingly. So that's A flat minor pentatonic. But for this lesson, I'm trying to make it so we're working on the closest position to where we started on the fretboard, which I was starting right on the G. If you're not familiar with all of these pentatonic patterns, you can find all of these at practicetheguitar.com, and we cover all the pentatonic shapes, not only all in one key going across the neck, but also in several keys moving up and down chromatically as well, to help you to get comfortable practicing pentatonic scales. So for example, if you were to play G minor pentatonic across the neck, we would start here with G and play pattern 1, because that's the root of the scale. Then we would go to the flat third of the scale, starting on B flat, and play what I call pattern 3, just because it starts on B flat, or the flat third of the key. Then pattern 4 would start on C in this case. And then pattern 5 would start on D. D is the 5th degree of G. And then pattern 7 would start on F as well. So that would be G minor pentatonic all the way across the neck, all in one key. We have exercises where we can practice all in one key across the neck, or we could take the other approach, which is what I was doing before, starting on G and moving the same shape up and down the neck. So I think that this would be a really useful track to practice scales, to get more familiar where all the patterns fall on the fretboard and how all these patterns also connect. So click the link that's right below the video and go and check that out. See you next time.